Is it worth going to college and getting a higher education at all? I just finished my master's degree and 5 years of higher education last week. And here in this video, I'm going to share some of my thoughts and reflections about the issue of whether you should go to college, whether college is a scam, or whether there are better areas, better paths for you based on the goals and ambitions that you have in life. So, the main takeaway I want you to get from this video is that co- going to college traditionally has been the way to get a job. And in order, if you're going into a traditional job, if you're going the route of the 9 to 5, then if you're not going straight through an education through traditional education system, then you're going to have to compensate for that in some other way. I have I have a friend who, instead of going to master's degree after finishing bachelor's, he went to bachelor's, the same bachelor took the same bachelor's degree as me, and he, instead of taking a master's degree as well, he went out in the workforce. He went and got a pretty good bank job. He's doing pretty well in the banking sector right now, whereas I went to the masters to do the masters, and he's doing pretty well in the banking sector. So he didn't need to go through to the go in the masters direction, so to speak. But that also means that for the starting point, that he will need to compensate for what is lacking, so to speak, with that. Okay, he doesn't have a master's degree, so he needs to compensate more with what he demonstrates of his actual work and performance in the job, to get to higher positions. So his starting point is lower for what his starting salary is, for his compensation, and for his work role than I could have gotten with just a master's degree as a starting point. But if instead of those 2 years, okay, you can use those 2 years to build yourself up quite a bit. So, and the same thing applies for a bachelor's degree. It may depend on your field of expertise. Okay, now we're not talking about the fields where it's absolutely a requirement to get a degree, such as, okay, doctor, lawyer, um, certified accountants, auditors, and so on. Those, of course, you need to go to college in order, if it's legally required, a certification or education in order to get into those fields. But otherwise, there are plenty of good jobs that is possible to get without education, but you still have to work for them, so to speak. You if you're what's because what a traditional education, what an education system is in practice, is just, okay, a lot of lessons that are systematized in a more or less logical way, and okay, you pay for it to get that kind of package of and structure of how you're going to learn these different things that may or may not be relevant your for your actual job in the future. So a lot of what is critiqued about the traditional educational system is that structure isn't either that structure isn't sufficient enough, that, okay, it's still too chaotic, or the contents of the educational system isn't relevant enough for the jobs that are actually coming in the future. So therefore, okay, we want to follow our own path And following your own path is instead of going to a traditional education system is a lot more difficult because you have to structure it by yourself. You have to figure out, okay, what is relevant and what isn't relevant. What how do I structure this? What do I do first? What do I do last? And so on. You need to be much more careful about, okay, how and figure out yourself that process of, okay, what do I actually need here. So you have a lot more control, but that requires also a lot more responsibility for actually figuring things out. So the more uh, the more discipline and responsibility you can take for your own education, the better suited you are for actually managing to work up good skills and competence that makes you may not need need an education. But this is really a person to person. Um, yeah, it really depends on the person. It really depends on you, on your situation. What is your goals, and how good are you at actually doing this, at actually keeping yourself accountable when you don't have exams or uh, assignments that are kind of forced on you, so to speak, and actually keeping yourself in place to, whether that be to reach your goals of, okay, you want a job in this field without a traditional education system, or you may want to start a business in some field or another. And in especially in the latter case, when starting a business, okay, then you have to figure everything out yourself either way. So that may be uh, the better alternative, anyways, to go into traditional education, because business is all about, okay, kind of figuring things out as you go, and and just trying a lot of things and failing and learning from it. You can't really learn entrepreneurship from a book. I'm a pretty recent founder, like 6 months ago, still in the startup process as well. But I get the feeling, at least just from my short experience with it, that I've learned so much more from those months I've been starting and building this than what I've learned in my uh, actual business school. Like I took business and administration bachelor's degree, and a master's degree in accounting and auditing. But and yeah, some useful courses here and there. But the society and the work market as a whole, and the and business the business field in the country and everything is changing so much over the years. Now recently, everything is accelerating at so much faster pace than ever before, and then you need to be really flexible and dynamic, and you can't really just rely on your education, traditional education, anymore. You need to take other courses, digital courses, read books, and all these other things to really be ahead of the game. And so it's at this point, okay, even when you have a higher education, like me now with the master's degree and everything, okay, you have a decent starting point, but it may not be enough. It may be still be really competitive in the working market if you're going to do that. So you need to do extra anyways, and then it may, depending on your situation, it may just be as relevant to start earlier and get more time to focus on your own things. You need to learn and figure out to get into the work and ideal job that you're pursuing. If they still require a degree, then that's how it is. But if not, then it may just as well be that you could get it without spending those extra years in traditional education. So completely depends on your situation, but it's it's become so common nowadays to get a higher education, and at least in a lot of places in Europe, the standards and requirements to actually complete a degree and get decent grades there is reducing, is steadily going down, and that means that also the value of the degrees are going down, so to speak, because so many people have them, and then it's not going to really be much of a differentiator for employers, and at least not. Especially if you're going out in business, okay, nobody really cares if you have a degree if you don't have, can't offer something of value to them, or can't really offer something that the market wants, right? Okay, they like the a degree at a university that they have been to before, maybe, or at the prestigious university that they know is pretty high standing. That could be an icebreaker and a good starting point to get you into the door, but it's not enough still. So so yeah, that's what I really want to leave leave as leave as a takeaway, leave as some takeaways from this video. And just to summarize, okay, for the point about, okay, should you go to college or should you stay, like, if you already staying in college, then there should be a pretty high standard and good reason for why you'd leave for something else. You better you better have some kind of idea what you want to do instead, because it's all a matter of, okay, if you don't go to college, what will you do if you don't? Okay, what will you do if you don't go to college? Will you just, okay, play video games on Netflix and go to parties and all of these other things? That's probably not going to get you anywhere near as far as you will with a degree, I would suppose. But if you're actually using that time dedicated on, okay, you're setting your own goals, you're taking your own maybe physical courses, you go into networking events, you get to know other professionals, connect with interesting people, learn a lot about how business work, about the trends in the market, and or in the industry that you want to get into, and and so on and so on. You figure out more of the details eventually as you go and try to learn. But if you are dedicated, then okay, you can do well, or you can. It's possible to do well without much of a degree, and those years may be just as productive, if not more, without a traditional education like that, especially with all the alternatives available online, all the resources you can get there. But yeah, again, it really depends on your situation. It really depends on your goals, ambitions, where you want to go. But at the end of the day, it's about, okay, is what is the best way to the goal that you have. So it's meaningless for me to say that, okay, you should or should not go to college or stay in college, because it completely depends on your goals. So it may not, it may not, and it may be that you are the one who, you are just like the dropouts who actually managed to do really well in business and succeeded amazingly at that. And for some people, that's the case. Okay, they have an idea, they are ambitious, and they want to do something more, and they know deep in their heart that, okay, they're dedicated and they're going to make this work. And yeah, if that's you, then it may be worth a try. But it's important to listen to your heart, listen to your intuition as well. Okay, what is telling you to try out? What is telling you is the best alternative? And sometimes we make the right decisions, sometimes we make the wrong decisions, but at least we get some kind of idea of, okay, I want to try this. I want to see if this works out. And sometimes we just need to jump out into it and see if this works, and just adjust and figure things out on the way. Sometimes it doesn't work, and then we need to figure out something else. And sometimes it works real well, and we just build further upon that. So yeah, I will round this up here. So those are my thoughts about traditional education. Should you go to should you go to college? Should you get higher education? Yeah, it depends. It depends. In summary, it depends on you. It depends on your goals and what is right for you. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you all think about these reflections about this relatively controversial topic, and yeah, leave your own thoughts and opinions in the comments what you all think about this topic. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say about the issue and what your experiences are, and yeah, love to hear from you guys, and I wish you all a blessed week forward. I will see you.